4:15. Millions of voters across Iran have started casting ballots to choose a successor to President Ahmadinejad, who's winding up his maximum 8-year term for the job. RT's Maria Finoshina has been in Tehran from the start of the packed polling stations. She brings us more.
Iran's supreme leader is among the first voters today. The country chooses its next president. I hope you have been able to see Ayatollah Khamenei has just cast his ballot, and of course no one knows who he voted for. You can see many journalists are here, including foreign reporters. Many have come to Iran to cover the event, and most of them are reporting on the shadows the supreme leader has cast over the country's politics and today's event, speculating that although offering a choice, today's vote will unlikely to bring any radical change to the country. Altogether, there are 6 candidates in today's race, but of course, no one can say at this point who's likely to win. Opinion polls predict a runoff, but as it said in the leaflet we found distributed on the streets of Tehran, the future president of Iran should believe in God, be able to protect the country from its enemies, have high moral standards, and have a good plan to improve the country's economic situation. Here's our report on where Ahmadinejad's legacy leaves the Islamic Republic.
Akbar has been in real estate business for years in Iran. When we ask him to summarize the legacy of President Ahmadinejad, he talks about pizza.
If you compare the price, it increased by 100% since last year. We have no hope for the future. The economy is bad and it's getting worse.
One of the president's promises after taking office in 2005 was to make Iran's vast oil revenues felt at the dining table of every single family. What he leaves behind is a country hit by the worst financial crisis in years. But there are some who say it's not Ahmadinejad who's to blame for the downturn.
Sanctions were tough recently and it's hard to keep afloat. But the president united the people and showed that Iran is able to resist international pressure.
The Iranian economy has been hit hard by a string of ever tougher sanctions imposed successively by the EU, the UN and the US over accusations the country is trying to develop nuclear weapons, something which was never proved.
Ahmadinejad has been able to stand up to the whole world over Iran's nuclear program, and the country's better off for it.
Another battle the departing leader will be remembered for is his rhetoric about Israel. Under Iran's 6th president, relations reached the point when even war seemed very possible. And while Ahmadinejad has not exactly been friendly towards Israel, the way facts have been juggled about him has done more damage to his reputation than his own words. Years ago, a statement was mistakenly attributed to him, which was inaccurately translated as Israel must be wiped off the face of the map. Actual words were that Israel must vanish from the arena of time, and didn't even belong to Ahmadinejad anyway.
The objective is to make Ahmadinejad a villain. He stands for universal rights, where every country would have an equal say. But some powers want nothing but dominance, and they focused on blackening the name of our president.
One of this year's presidential candidates doesn't agree.
During the 2009 election campaign, he criticized his advisors, and they were off the race. That's not the best and most honest way to get to power.
The deadly protests that raged across the country after the elections are also thought to have undermined Ahmadinejad's image. The result? Many people were frightened off.
Let me not talk about Ahmadinejad at all.
Even those who don't totally support Ahmadinejad say there is little he can actually do here.
According to our constitution, the supreme leader has much more powers in this country. Almost every step the president takes should be supervised and blessed by the Ayatollah.
So despite all the controversies surrounding President Ahmadinejad, it looks like Iran will continue to be a force in the region and therefore will remain a thorn in the side of the US and its allies.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad's 8-year presidency provokes mixed feelings. A very controversial leader, he was equally hated and worshipped here in Iran. He's been one of the most famous Iranian presidents and a vocal defender of Iranian policy abroad. Today, his era is over, but his legacy will cast a shadow over the next president for some time. Maria Finoshina, RT, Tehran, Iran.